Corey Coomer was born on March 14, 1977, in the heart of Anderson, Indiana. Her parents, Blaine Coomer and Christine Fleming, were ecstatic at the birth of their daughter and welcomed her into their family with open arms. As she grew up, Corey found love and married John, also known as Chip Clark, and together they built their life, situated on a foundation made of laughter and love, in a quaint duplex in Lapel, Indiana. Their family expanded with the arrival of two beautiful daughters, Morgan and Jenna. Jenna admired her older sister tremendously, and family members recall her looking up to her with wide-eyed wonder. However, in 2003, Corey's husband, John, lost his job, and Corey faced health problems. Despite this, the family lived happily and were in the process of moving to Florida, where Corey's parents lived. On February 24, 2004, Corey was at home with her youngest daughter, 4-year-old Jenna, while her older daughter, 7-year-old Morgan, was away at school, and her husband was in Florida looking for work. Later that day, Corey failed to pick up her daughter from school. Alarmed, the school staff called Corey multiple times, but she did not pick up. The staff then tried to contact Corey's best friend, Tanya Little, saying that Corey had failed to pick up her daughter. Tanya later said, quote, "I just figured that she'd pushed herself too hard. I thought that, she would be over there asleep when I got there." Tonya organized for Morgan to be put onto the school bus with her own kids in order to be dropped off at Tonya's mother's house. She'd planned to pick up her own kids and Morgan from her mother's house after checking up on Corey. Tonya then went to check up on her best friend. Upon arriving at the house, she found a horrifying sight. Both Corey and her younger daughter Jenna were laying in a pool of blood. Tonya immediately notified police. Police arrived to find Corey in a bedroom, nude from the waist down, laying in a pool of blood. Her throat had been slit. Meanwhile, Jenna was found in another bedroom with spinal injuries and a severely lacerated throat that had nearly decapitated her. Corey's purse, which had contained $300 to $400, was missing from the house. There was no sign of forced entry, and police believed the attacker was someone known to the family. An autopsy confirmed the attacker had tried to sexually assault Corey, but had failed. The county coroner said that the pair died of neck wounds somewhere between 9 a.m. and 2:30 p.m. There were no other injuries on their bodies. The quiet town of Lapel stood in shock and disbelief, its sense of security shattered by the heinous crime. No suspects emerged initially, and no one seemed to know of anyone that would harbor ill will toward Corey or her family. Police questioned friends, family, and neighbors. Corey's husband was cleared as his alibi checked out. He had been in Florida at the time of the murders. While questioning the neighbors, several told police that on the day of the murder, they saw a man in a small car and acting strangely in the town. They believed the man worked at a nearby construction site. Witnesses described his vehicle, a small, dark-colored hatchback adorned with a handicap sticker. One neighbor also said that the man had knocked on her door and asked to use her phone. However, she said she did not let him in. Police paid a visit to the construction site and asked the workers if they'd known anyone matching the description, or if they'd seen someone driving a dark-colored hatchback vehicle with a handicap sticker. To their surprise, several workers knew of the man and gave the police a name, Frederick Bear. The foreman of the construction site reported to detectives that on February 25th, Frederick Bear, also known by his friends as Fred, was on the job, but he had disappeared for a bathroom break at midday and did not come back for more than 2 hours. One of the residents had also recorded the car's license plate number, which happened to belong to Bear. This account proved sufficient grounds for a judge to authorize a search warrant for Bear's residence. During the search, police discovered a backpack in Bear's bedroom containing 20 knives, as well as jewelry and personal items. The tire impressions found in the Clark's driveway matched the pattern of the tires on Bear's car. Police also found bloodstains inside of his car, which was sent out for testing. They also located several other items in his home that they say linked Bear to 4 other sexual assault cases committed at knife point in Hamilton and Marion counties. They also found a souvenir from the sexual assault. One of the victim's driver's licenses was still kept in a safe place in his home. When questioned as to whether he killed Corey and 4-year-old Jenna, Bear reportedly replied, quote, "Yeah, I was there in the vicinity, but did I kill anyone? No." Bear said that he was working with a road construction crew in Madison County, but he said that after leaving the worksite for a while, he got lost on county roads while trying to return. He said he was high on marijuana and methamphetamine at the time and claimed that he wasn't a violent person and wouldn't hurt anybody. He said to police, quote, "I cry when a freaking butterfly gets hit on a windshield. That's how soft and sentimental I am, because I love life. Did I go inside somebody's house and kill them? No." However, Bear's description of his whereabouts during the time of the murders is confusing and unclear. He admitted his memory was not good due to the methamphetamine use, but said that he drove by Clark's house several times that day and did stop to ask for directions from different people, but he said he couldn't remember exactly when these interactions happened. According to Bear, he asked a woman at her front door, a man in a white pickup truck, and a woman at a Marathon gas station for directions. Bear disagreed with the police's claim that he was away from the worksite for upwards of 2 hours. Instead, he said he took a short 15 to 20-minute break, simply to use the restroom. Later in the day, he went back to the Marathon station, although he wasn't sure exactly when, and he says the second visit might have kept him away for up to an hour. Bear has had a long criminal history. He was adopted at the age of 4 by his stepfather, David Bear, a truck terminal manager, and the family lived in Decatur, Illinois. In the late 1970s, the family relocated to Indianapolis to be closer to Bear's maternal grandparents. Bear said he felt his family begin to fall apart after the move, but he formed a close bond with his eldest half-sister, Evelyn H. Green, who was already living independently. In 1983, Green, then 24, was violently shot to death in her home, a loss that Bear took very hard. He said that that's when he began using illegal drugs, starting with speed and marijuana, and then progressing to acid, paint sniffing, and eventually cocaine. As a juvenile, Bear faced several arrests and was placed in 2 hospitals for substance abuse treatment and counseling, but these interventions proved ineffective. By 1992, after pleading guilty to a home burglary, he admitted to smoking 5, quote, rocks of cocaine a day, and had 2 prior adult convictions for burglary and criminal recklessness. He was sentenced to 14 years, but quickly began misbehaving and filing petitions for his release. In the year 2000, Judge Tanya Walton Pratt of the Marion Superior Court denied his request to transfer to a community transition program, noting his 32 misconduct write-ups, mostly for disruptive behavior. Bear cycled in and out of the system until June of 2003, when he was finally released into a community transition program. Bear, however, would continue to enact home burglaries and would eventually murder Corey and Jenna just 1 year later. At first, Bear denied killing Corey and Jenna, but when authorities confronted him with evidence, he nodded affirmatively. However, while he did not verbally confess, DNA test results show that the blood found in Bear's car belonged to Jenna Clark. Police said that Bear was not related to the Clarks and that the attack was random. He was charged with the murder and burglary in Cora and Jenny's case, and was also linked to multiple other crimes in Hamilton, Madison, and Marion counties. Bear faced a total of 28 criminal charges spread across 3 counties. Specifically, he had 8 charges in Madison County, 8 in Hamilton County, and 12 in Marion County. While in prison in June of 2004, Bear tried to escape by swallowing a handcuff key stolen from a guard while being processed into the facility. According to another inmate, Bear got the key after ducking into an open office. He was taken to a hospital when an X-ray showed the key in his intestine. Bear was later charged for that escape as well. During his trial, he claimed that he was high on marijuana and methamphetamine and that he had heard voices telling him to kill Corey and Jenna. He was convicted of sexual assault in Hamilton County, receiving an 80-year sentence for that crime. He was also convicted of 3 counts of burglary in Marion County, adding 18 years, and 2 counts of criminal deviance in Hamilton County, adding another 40 years to his sentence. Another burglary in Hamilton County resulted in an additional 20-year sentence. Excluding the murder and robbery of Corey and Jenna Clark, Fred Bear already faced 158 years in prison. His defense tried to plead insanity, but experts stated that Bear did not meet the standards for the mentally ill. In 2005, he was found guilty in Corey and Jenna's murder and sentenced to death. However, in 2018, the United States 7th District of Appeals reversed Bear's death sentence because he had had ineffective legal counsel. In 2019, prosecutors said that Bear would be resentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, only as the victim's family approved of it. Lauren DeMolo was born in Florida in 1990. Her parents were divorced and she was raised by her father, Paul DeMolo, in New York. She had a younger sister with whom she was close. She did not have a relationship with her mother. In her teenage years, Lauren had a car accident and was prescribed painkillers, which led to an addiction that she struggled with until her adult years. In 2015, Lauren gave birth to a baby girl, whom she named Michaela. After having her daughter, she tried hard to stay clean and to take care of her daughter. In 2016, Lauren moved back to Cape Coral, Florida, in order to establish a relationship with her mother. However, in 2018, she relapsed and ended up losing custody of Michaela. In 2020, Lauren lived with her boyfriend, Gabriel Pina, in Cape Coral, Florida. She had been dating Gabriel for a few years. Even though she had struggled with substance abuse, her family believed that she was trying hard to get her life back together. She had been working 2 jobs, one at Taco Bell and the other as a server at a local restaurant. In May of 2020, Lauren had gotten an abortion. Not much information is available about the abortion, but her family says that it affected her mental health. On June 1, 2020, Lauren was admitted to a mental health facility as she was struggling and wanted to seek help. She was released from this facility on June 18, 2020. She started looking for a job as she had lost her second job as a server at a restaurant. That evening, she was seen applying for a job at a local gas station on CCTV footage. On June 19, 2020, Lauren's boyfriend, Gabriel, called Lauren's father, Paul, who lived in California, and told him that Lauren was missing. He told him that he had woken up that morning for work and had kissed Lauren before leaving. He said that when he returned later that night, he could not find her anywhere. Paul told Gabriel to file a missing persons case and to keep him updated. 2 days went by, but neither Paul nor Lauren's sister could get a hold of Gabriel in order to inquire about Lauren. On June 21, 2020, Paul decided to call the Cape Coral police to inquire about his daughter. However, Paul learned to his surprise that Gabriel had never filed a missing persons report for Lauren. Paul immediately flew to Cape Coral to search for his daughter. Gabriel eventually did file a missing persons report, but it was not until later that evening. However, due to a clerical error, her case was not entered into the database until June 24th. Her family had already started their own search by then. A maintenance worker at the apartment where Lauren lived came forward and told him that he had seen Lauren around 8:15 a.m. on June 19th. She had asked him if he knew any cheaper apartments in the area. He claims that she said that she wanted to get out of the situation she was currently in. Her family found this story strange, as Lauren had paid her rent in full for the next month. Her family did not believe that she would leave of her own accord. She loved her daughter, and she was working hard to get back custody of her. Even though she struggled with addiction in the past, she had reportedly been clean for the past 2 years. According to her family, Lauren had the same routine for the past few years. She would walk to Four Freedoms Park, located 7 minutes from her apartment, at around 8 a.m. There, she would meditate, exercise, and relax before heading back home to get ready for work. 2 witnesses reported seeing Lauren heading home from that park at around 8:30 a.m. on June 19th. On June 20th, 2020, Lauren's purse was found by an individual at Four Freedoms Park. The purse contained her key, her ID, and her bank card. The purse was turned over to the park ranger. However, since Lauren was not reported missing at the time, her family did not know about these findings until a few days later. Police brought in cadaver dogs in order to search the park, but no trace of Lauren could be found. On July 2nd, Lauren's burgundy shirt would be found in the park. Interestingly enough, the shirt had been found in the very area which had been thoroughly searched in the days prior. However, during the search, the shirt was not present. Investigators believe that somebody planted it. A test of the shirt confirmed that it did belong to Lauren, but no other evidence could be found. Lauren's sister claims that she went to Lauren's apartment after her disappearance to search for any clues. While she was there, she says that Gabriel arrived and took the television, stating that, quote, "Obviously Lauren isn't coming back." She asked him if he knew where Lauren's phone was, as she could not find it. Upon this request, Gabriel went into the apartment and returned with a fully charged cell phone. Police checked Lauren's phone records, but found nothing except that her last activity on her phone was a video call via Facebook to Gabriel at around 10:30 a.m. on June 19th. Gabriel claims he never received notification for the call. While Gabriel Pina is not considered a suspect in the case, it is worth noting that Pina does have a history of domestic violence. Laura is considered an endangered missing person. Lauren is around 5 foot 2 inches tall and weighs around 120 pounds. She has several tattoos, a large tattoo on the side of her body that reads Namaste, a symbol on her wrist, rosary beads on her ankle, and the symbol NY on her pelvis. The case remains open and unsolved. If you have any information as to the whereabouts of Lauren DeMolo, please call Cape Coral Police at 239-574-3223.